Good morning, seniors. I hope you guys are doing well. Myself and the other English 4 teachers sure do miss your smiling faces every day, but we wanted to go ahead and send out a quick message to help with instructions for what is coming up this next week. I know there are a lot of concerns and a lot of unanswered questions, but we are going to be sending work home to keep you guys up to date on your schoolwork, and we'll be available on Schoology for anything that you need, questions, concerns. We might not be able to answer everything, but as soon as answers come, we will relay them to you, or the district will as well. And please don't stress. We're all navigating uncharted waters right now, and we're going to do our best, and we'll make sure once we reconvene that everybody gets what they need and has time to do what they need to do. So this week we're going to be working on poetry and reflections. We're just modifying the things that we would be doing in class so that you guys can do them on your own and keep up to date with what we're supposed to be doing. We have typed up a direction sheet for this coming week. There is a bulleted list of the 4 days of instruction that you guys are going to be asked to focus on. And I'm going to send this video and one other to kind of give you verbal details in case you need them. If you don't have me as a teacher, I'm sorry, I'm Mrs. Clark. I hope you guys are doing well. So the first 2 days of this coming week, we're going to be working with Robert Frost's Mending Wall. The poem is going to be available on Schoology as well as a hard copy. I know a couple of you were asking last week how you do annotations if you don't have a way to print this and you weren't able to get a hard copy. Please feel free to go and do notebook paper. You can do your annotations on notebook paper. Just make sure you identify where in the poem you're annotating. So if line 5 is something that you want to talk about, put line 5 and then what your annotation would be. We're going to work with you guys as much as we can so that you can be successful during these times, okay? So what we're going to do on day 1 is you're going to read through Robert Frost's poem, Mending Wall, okay? It's always a good idea with poetry to read through it a couple of times. The first time just to hear the words, and the second time to let them soak through you and start to try to figure out what this poet is trying to say to his readers. So you're going to read through this poem and you're going to annotate it, at least 5 annotations. You should be able to do more, but whatever you think you need. Remember, you can annotate for anything you see fit. Things that you see that evoke feeling in you, literary devices, unfamiliar things that you guys have questions about. It's just you interacting with the text that you have in front of you, okay? After you've annotated, of course, we're going to do our theme statements, which we've been practicing all year. Please remember that a theme statement should be universal, and we are asking you to include because in your sentence. This will help avoid those bumper sticker cliche theme statements that we want to avoid. It will also ensure that you're getting at the complexity of what the author is trying to get us to understand. If you're unsure or you need help, reach out on Schoology. We're here to help you as much as possible, okay? So we're going to do this the first day, read, annotate, theme statement. You're also going to be given a chart with some questions. We're going to be looking at tone and symbolism, okay? Please understand, and it should be pretty straightforward in this poem, that the speaker, the poet, and the speaker and the neighbor are 2 separate people. So we're going to be looking at the tone that these 2 people share, the tone of the speaker and the tone of the neighbor. You're going to identify what that tone is. You're going to talk a little bit about how you figured that out. Where in the poem did you see that the speaker was mad or the speaker was evil or doubtful, whatever it is that you think the poem is, okay? You're going to compare the tone of the 2 speakers. Are they similar in any way? Are they totally different? And how do you think these 2 different tones would affect their relationship? Okay, they're neighbors. They have to have some interaction. So how would that affect it? Okay. I want you to try to think about what the wall might symbolize, okay? And why you believe whatever it is that you think it symbolizes, okay? You're going to identify 3 major events in the poem, any 3 that you want. You can bullet them on your paper. If you don't have enough space, use the back, use another sheet of paper. That is totally fine. But I want you to, for each event that you choose, I want you to explain how it affects the relationship between the speaker and the neighbor, okay? Then you're going to talk a little bit about who you identify with. Do you identify with the speaker? Do you identify with the neighbor? Do you identify with neither of them? But whatever your answer is, why do you feel that way? What about them is a connection to you, or why is there not a connection? How would you react in a case like this? Okay, and then last part, I want you to analyze the very last line of the poem. Robert Frost ends this poem by saying, good fences, good fences make good neighbors. I want you to think a little bit about what he means by this and whether or not you agree with that statement, and think about things from your own life. Okay, so this is what we're going to do on day 1 of next week. Okay, day 2, you're going to be using the same poem that you've already annotated and kind of analyzed, so hopefully you'll have a little bit of an understanding there. Again, everybody will have an instruction sheet that outlines everything that you need to do. Okay, so on day 2, we're just going to be writing a short reflection about a page. It does not have to be essay style unless you want it to be just a journal, quick write, whatever you want to call it. But there are several questions that we want you to think about. I want you to think about what walls symbolize in our society. What are they used for? They can be literal walls, like a wall in a house, a wall between neighbors, or they can be symbolic or metaphorical walls, like the walls that we put up around ourselves. Okay? I want you to talk about, is the usage of walls, whichever type you want to talk about, are they more negative or more positive, and why? Are they good that we do these things? Are they bad? Are they causing rifts between people, or are they protecting us? Whatever you want to say, just make sure you explain your answers. I want you to find 2 examples of walls. Again, they can be literal walls or metaphorical walls that are used in pop culture, in books, in TV shows, comic books, movies, and songs, whatever you want. But for each one, I want you to cite your source, which means tell me where it came from. Did you see a metaphorical wall in Grey's Anatomy? Then write down that it was between whichever 2 characters you choose. I want you to shortly summarize how the wall was used, what was its purpose, why was it there, and then analyze the effect it had on the characters, how they interacted with each other, did it affect their wants and needs, did it protect them, did it hurt them, and so on. And then in the end, overall, do these walls that we put up, do they do more good in our life or more damage? And explain. So that's what you're going to do for day 2. Again, the instructions will be available on Schoology and on hard copies, and please message any of your English teachers if you have any questions, and we'll be here to help you, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.